You drink pints of water every single day. You force yourself to swallow glass after glass. Your stomach sloshes when you walk, yet your joints still ache constantly. Your head feels incredibly heavy by mid-afternoon. You are constantly running to the loo. You feel like you are doing absolutely everything right. You carry a reusable water bottle everywhere you go. You sip from it at your desk. You take it in the car. You keep a glass on your bedside table. You obsess over drinking your 8 glasses a day. But your body is not actually absorbing the water you consume. It is simply flushing it straight out. Your kidneys are working overtime to process all this empty liquid. They are filtering frantically. They are exhausted. You are drinking constantly, but you are still quietly dehydrating at a deep cellular level. You wake up in the middle of the night with a mouth as dry as sandpaper. You spend a fortune on fancy bottled water. You buy expensive water filters. You track your intake on an app. None of it works. The secret to deep, permanent hydration is not drinking more water. It's drinking smarter water. By adding a very specific amount of true Himalayan salt to warm water, you change everything. You create a powerful traditional remedy called sole water. Pronounced sole, this mixture acts as a targeted carrier. It pushes moisture directly into your tissues. It takes the water exactly where you need it most. It forces the water inside your cells. But there is a massive catch. If you stir this exact mixture with a standard metal spoon from your kitchen drawer, you ruin it completely. You instantly kill the delicate electrical charge of the minerals. You render the entire drink completely useless. You turn a powerful remedy into dead, salty water. I will give you the exact step-by-step golden protocol at the very end of this presentation. You can write it down. You can get the ratios perfectly right. You can completely avoid this daily mistake. Think of your body's tissues as natural sea sponges. Imagine a completely neglected, stiff, bone-dry sponge sitting by your kitchen sink. It has been sitting there in the hot sun for days. It is hard as a rock. It is brittle and rough. When you run that stiff sponge under the cold kitchen tap, the water just rolls right off it. It splashes everywhere. It goes straight down the plug hole. The inside of the sponge remains completely dry. Plain tap water does exactly the same thing inside your body. It passes straight through your digestive system. It finds no grip. It finds no entry point into your cells. You drink a massive glass of tap water, and 20 minutes later, you're back in the bathroom. You lose the water. You stay dehydrated. Your skin becomes flaky and dry, especially on your shins and elbows.
You apply thick lotions, but your skin stays rough. Your fine lines and wrinkles look much deeper. Your eyes look sunken. Your blood stays thick and sluggish like heavy syrup. Your heart has to pump twice as hard to push that thick blood around your body. Your energy drops rapidly. Your hands and feet might even feel freezing cold even in a warm room. That freezing feeling in your toes, even under a thick duvet, that is your heart failing to push thick blood through tight vessels. Himalayan salt contains the exact trace minerals that act like tiny magnets inside your body. When you introduce these specific minerals to water, they grab the water molecules tightly. They bind to the moisture. They pull that moisture deep inside the tough outer layers of your tissues. Suddenly, the dry sponge plumps up. It softens. It expands naturally. It holds the water beautifully. You stop running to the toilet every half hour. You retain the moisture. You feel vigorous, alert, and genuinely quenched. Try drinking your water slightly warm rather than ice cold. Ice cold water is a massive shock to your delicate system. It hits your stomach like a frozen brick. It constricts your blood vessels instantly. It triggers a panic response in your vagus nerve. It solidifies the fats from your recent meals. It turns the oils in your stomach into hard, unmanageable lumps. Your body then has to waste massive amounts of precious energy just heating that cold water up to body temperature. Warm water perfectly matches your internal environment. It melts tension in your stomach wall. It opens up your blood vessels. It absorbs almost instantly without causing any shock to your system. It flows seamlessly into your bloodstream. It relaxes your entire digestive tract. Forget standard white table salt. Throw it in the bin right now. Do not even keep it in the cupboard for cooking. Do not use it for baking. Do not use it for boiling pasta. That fine white powder is heavily processed. It is an industrial product. It is bleached with harsh chemicals to make it look perfectly pure. It is stripped of absolutely all its natural goodness. Manufacturers burn it at incredibly high temperatures. This destroys the natural chemical structure. They then pump it full of artificial anti-caking agents. They use aluminum derivatives. They use chalky fillers. They use heavy metals. They do this just so the salt flows easily out of the shaker in damp restaurants. They prioritize convenience over your health. That artificial salt is an absolute menace to your body. It is highly toxic. It causes severe swelling in your ankles and fingers. It pulls water out of your cells and traps it in your tissue spaces. It drives up your blood pressure. It causes highly uncomfortable water retention.
You wake up with a puffy face. Your eyelids look swollen and heavy. Your rings feel incredibly tight on your fingers. You cannot get your shoes on properly by the end of the day. You feel heavy and sluggish. You crave salty crisps and savory snacks constantly. Your body is desperately looking for real minerals, but you keep feeding it toxic white salt instead. That heavy, sluggish feeling when you wake up looking puffy in the mirror, that is toxic salt trapping dead water in your tissues. How many glasses of plain tap water do you force down every single day? Tell me your exact number in the comments below. Genuine pink Himalayan salt is entirely different. It is your body's absolute best friend. It is a vital nutrient. Roman soldiers used to be paid their wages in raw salt because it was so vital for daily survival. That is where the word salary comes from. Genuine pink salt contains over 80 distinct trace minerals. These include vital magnesium, potassium, zinc, and calcium. It contains iron, copper, and iodine. These minerals are not just random rocks. They are your body's natural spark plugs. They are the foundation of your electrical system. Every single action your body takes requires a tiny electrical signal. When you blink your eyes, a spark fires. When your heart beats, a spark fires. When you lift a cup of tea, your brain sends an electrical charge down your spinal cord to your muscles. When you digest your food, electrical signals coordinate your stomach muscles. When you lack these crucial mineral sparks, the signals misfire completely. The communication breaks down. Your nervous system starts to stutter. You experience a heavy, dragging sensation in your limbs. You feel like you are walking through thick mud. You cannot concentrate on simple tasks. You lose your train of thought mid-sentence. You wake up in the middle of the night with a sudden jolt. Your calf muscle locks in a painful, twisting cramp. That sudden, agonizing knot in your calf muscle at 2 in the morning, that is a misfiring electrical signal begging for magnesium. By drinking soul water, you are essentially drinking pure liquid energy. It supports your entire nervous system instantly. It replenishes your electrical grid. It gives your brain the exact conductors it needs to fire on all cylinders. You think faster, you move easier, you remember exactly where you put your keys. You feel sharp and present. Bloating and a heavy stomach often come from a weak digestive fire. Your stomach is like a furnace. It needs strong natural juices to break down your food. It needs powerful stomach acid. Without strong acid, your food just sits there. Genuine pink salt contains the exact raw materials your body uses to create those juices. Salt is sodium chloride.
Your stomach needs that chloride to manufacture hydrochloric acid. Warm water gently wakes up your digestive tract, while the salt provides the raw fuel. Together, they light your inner stove. Food breaks down easily. The nutrients are extracted properly. That heavy, sluggish feeling simply vanishes. Try swirling a tiny pinch of pink salt on your tongue before a heavy meal to prime your digestion. Let it dissolve slowly on your taste buds. Do this about 10 minutes before you sit down to eat a large Sunday roast. It sends an immediate signal down your vagus nerve to your stomach. It tells your body to prepare for incoming food. It starts the digestive fire before the first bite even enters your mouth. Your stomach begins pumping out acid. As we get older, especially past the age of 55, our stomach produces significantly less acid. The furnace cools down naturally. You eat a normal meal, but it feels like a heavy brick sitting in your stomach for hours. You feel incredibly sluggish. You suffer from painful trapped wind. You feel the constant urge to burp. You might even suffer from acid reflux. This happens because the undigested food ferments in your warm stomach. It produces gas. That gas pushes upwards against your esophageal sphincter. It forces weak acid up into your throat. It burns terribly. Many people reach for chalky antacid tablets when this happens. They chew them like sweets. Those tablets actually make the root problem much worse. They completely extinguish whatever tiny digestive fire you have left. They neutralize your remaining acid. They leave your stomach completely defenseless. The salt and warm water combination acts as a perfect primer instead. It readies the stomach lining naturally. It builds your acid levels back up. It ensures that when the food arrives, the natural acid is ready and waiting. The warm water soothes your throat and esophagus on the way down. You no longer need to loosen your belt after dinner. You no longer feel the desperate need to nap immediately after eating. That desperate need to unbutton your trousers and lie down after dinner, that is your stomach failing to break down food without mineral support. You digest your food efficiently. You extract all the vital vitamins perfectly. You feel light and energetic after meals. Stiff, clicking knees are not just a sign of getting older. They are not an inevitable part of aging. They're often a desperate cry for minerals. They're a sign of severe local dehydration. Your joints sit in a protective fluid called synovial fluid. This fluid is meant to be thick and slippery. It protects the cartilage. But when you are dehydrated, this fluid dries up. It becomes thin and watery. It loses its bounce. Your bones start to rub together like rusty hinges on an old door. The cartilage begins to fray. Soul water pushes deep hydration straight back into those dry joint spaces. The minerals pull the water directly into the joint capsule. It acts like high-quality engine oil. It relieves the internal friction instantly. Movement becomes smooth, quiet, and comfortable again. You do not have to just accept joint pain as a miserable fact of daily life. Think of your joints like the heavy shock absorbers on a car. If the shock absorber leaks its thick fluid, you feel every single bump in the road. It jars your entire frame. It damages the chassis. When your internal joint fluid thins out, you lose your natural bouncy cushion. You feel a sharp twinge every time you walk up the stairs. You groan aloud when you try to get out of a low chair. Your morning routine is completely ruined by stiffness. You have to shuffle slowly to the bathroom. You have to hold on to the walls for support. You feel a dull, constant ache in your lower back when standing at the sink washing dishes. You struggle to turn your neck quickly when reversing the car. Your shoulders crunch when you reach for a high shelf. That sharp wince of pain when you try to stand up from a deep sofa, that is bone grinding on bone because your shock absorbers are bone dry. The trace minerals in Himalayan salt pull the water directly into the protective fluid. They lock it there securely. They rebuild the cushion. The loud clicking in your knees stops. The painful morning stiffness fades away entirely. You can bend down to tie your shoes with complete ease. You can walk the dog without dreading the return journey. You can sit on the floor with your grandchildren. You give your joints the exact heavy-duty lubrication they have been starving for. You restore your natural mobility. Here's a deeply frustrating truth about the modern food industry. Much of the pink salt sold in standard supermarkets is completely fake. It is a total scam designed to empty your wallet. It is just regular, heavily processed white salt that has been dyed pink with artificial food coloring. They package it in fancy plastic grinders. They put a beautiful picture of a mountain on the label. The cheap grinder mechanisms often break after a week of use. They stick a premium gourmet label on it. They trick you into paying a massive markup for a worthless product. You think you are doing something wonderful for your daily health, but you are just consuming more toxic chemicals. You are eating artificial dye. Fake pink salt often tastes sharp, bitter, and entirely unpleasant. It burns your tongue slightly. You can test your salt easily at home.
If you put a spoonful of your current salt into a glass of warm water, stir it vigorously, and it leaves a bright pink or reddish residue at the bottom of the glass, you have been scammed. That is the artificial dye settling at the bottom. It is completely fake. Genuine Himalayan salt dissolves cleanly and beautifully. It tastes incredibly smooth and earthy. It enhances the flavor of food perfectly. It leaves the water looking only slightly cloudy from the raw, natural minerals. It might leave a tiny bit of grayish sand or grit at the bottom. That is perfectly natural. That is proof it came from the earth. But it never leaves artificial pink dye behind. Do not waste your hard-earned money or your daily effort on dyed table salt. It will only cause the swelling and bloating we talked about earlier. It will raise your blood pressure. Look for large, coarse crystals. Buy them from a trusted health food shop. Find a highly reputable online supplier who provides purity certificates. Authentic Himalayan salt is mined by hand from ancient seabeds deep within the mountains. It is extracted carefully. It is not blasted out of the earth with cheap dynamite. These ancient salt beds have been protected from modern pollution for millions of years. They are protected from microplastics. They are protected from industrial toxins. They are protected from acid rain. That raw, untouched purity is exactly what your body needs to thrive. It is the cleanest, most potent source of minerals on the entire planet. Go to your kitchen cupboard right now. Look at your salt. Is it a fine white powder or coarse pink crystals? Let me know in the comments. You can make this soul water protocol even more powerful with one tiny brilliant addition. Add a single drop of fresh lemon juice to your morning glass. Do not squeeze the whole lemon into the water. Do not even squeeze half a lemon. That is a massive mistake. That will turn it into a harsh, acidic detox drink. Large amounts of daily lemon juice are incredibly hard on your delicate tooth enamel. They strip the protective layer off your teeth. They can cause severe dental sensitivity over time. Your teeth will ache when you drink cold liquids. Just use exactly one single tiny drop. The natural vitamin C in that microscopic amount of lemon juice acts like a powerful biological key. Your cellular tissues have locked doors. The vitamin C unlocks these doors much faster. It acts like a VIP pass, allowing the salt and water mixture to rush inside the cells without any resistance. It slightly alters the pH balance of the water. This makes it even more compatible with your bloodstream. It matches your blood chemistry. It sends a gentle wake-up signal directly to your liver. It tells your liver to start filtering toxins for the day.
It also changes the flavor profile beautifully. It cuts through the saltiness perfectly. It makes the drink incredibly refreshing and crisp. The subtle, clean scent of the lemon wakes up your senses immediately. It clears your mind. It freshens your morning breath naturally. It turns a very simple morning drink into a master hydration tool. This tiny micro-habit takes literally 2 seconds to do, but it multiplies the effectiveness of the minerals tenfold. It ensures that absolutely zero water is wasted. Your body absorbs every single drop. Your cells drink it in completely. Now, for the critical mistake I mentioned earlier, pay very close attention to this. Solar water is a living liquid. These trace minerals hold a tiny natural spark. They act just like a tiny battery. They carry a very specific electrical frequency. But when a standard metal spoon touches this water, it instantly grounds out that spark. The metal steals the energy. The galvanic reaction destroys the charge. The salt water goes entirely dead. All that beautiful cellular energy is lost before it even reaches your lips. You must use a wooden spoon. A glass stirrer works perfectly too. You must protect the spark. The metal acts as a strong, aggressive conductor. It strips the water of its vitality in a fraction of a second. Imagine dropping your mobile phone into a bathtub full of water. The water causes an instant, catastrophic short circuit. The phone dies immediately. That is exactly what the metal spoon does to the delicate mineral charge in the water. The Earth's natural resonance is captured deep within the salt crystals. The metal completely disrupts this natural frequency. You are left with nothing but dead, salty water. It'll do absolutely nothing for your stiff joints. It'll do nothing for your foggy brain. It'll just taste like seawater. People spend an absolute fortune on high-quality salt and then ruin it entirely with a cheap stainless steel spoon from the drawer. Do not let a cheap piece of cutlery ruin your deep hydration. You can use a bamboo spoon, you can use a hard ceramic spoon, you can even use a clean wooden chopstick. Just ensure that absolutely no metal touches the liquid at any stage of the preparation. Store your wooden spoon right next to your jar so you are never tempted to grab a metal one in a rush. This single detail is the absolute difference between a remedy that transforms your day and a drink that wastes your time. Here is your exact golden protocol. Follow these steps exactly to create your master batch. Take a clean, empty glass jar with a wide mouth. An old jam jar washed out perfectly is absolutely ideal. Ensure there is no old food residue inside. Fill it exactly 1/4 full with coarse, authentic Himalayan salt crystals.
Do not use fine powder. The fine powder dissolves much too quickly. The coarse crystals dissolve at the correct, slow, methodical rate. Fill the remaining 3/4 of the jar with high-quality filtered water. Spring water from a glass bottle is also excellent. Leave a tiny bit of space at the top. Put a plastic, wooden, or cork lid on the jar. Never use a metal lid for the exact same reasons we just discussed about the spoon. The metal lid will ruin the charge just as quickly. It will short-circuit the water. Shake the jar well for a few seconds. Let it sit quietly on your kitchen counter for 24 full hours. Do not touch it. Do not rush it. Do not put it in the fridge. The water needs time to break down the tough mineral bonds completely. This is your master mineral concentrate. Over those 24 hours, the water will absorb as much salt as it can possibly hold. It will extract every single trace mineral. It will reach a state of total saturation. It becomes thick like a heavy syrup. There will always be some undissolved salt crystals sitting at the bottom of the jar. That is absolutely perfect. It is exactly what you want to see. It is the ultimate visual proof. It means the water is fully saturated. It cannot hold a single grain more of minerals. The liquid above the crystals is your finished sole. To use it, take exactly 1 level teaspoon of this clear liquid from the top of the jar. Do not take a tablespoon. A tablespoon is far too much and will taste highly unpleasant. It will upset your stomach. Remember to use your wooden spoon. Stir that single teaspoon into a large mug of warm filtered water. Add your single drop of fresh lemon juice. Stir it gently with the wooden spoon. Drink it slowly. Do this first thing in the morning on a completely empty stomach. Do this before you eat breakfast. Do not gulp it down in one go. Sip it gently over 5 minutes. Let it mix with your saliva. Try keeping this master jar right next to your kettle. Keep your wooden spoon resting right next to it. This acts as a permanent visual reminder. It prompts you to hydrate properly before you reach for your morning tea or coffee. This master jar will last you for months. It is incredibly economical. It never goes bad. Bacteria cannot grow in it. Salt is the ultimate natural preservative. As the liquid goes down over the weeks, just add more salt and more water. Wait another 24 hours. You have a perpetual supply of deep hydration. If you miss a day, do not panic. Do not double the dose the next day. Just resume your normal routine the following morning. Your body desperately wants to be energetic. It wants to wake up feeling rested, not stiff and miserable. It wants to move freely without pain.
It wants to digest food effortlessly, without embarrassing gas or bloating. It wants sharp, clear focus. By giving it the exact trace minerals and the deep hydration it has been begging for, you are acting as your body's truest friend. If you commit to this incredibly simple morning routine, you will feel much more vigorous within days. Commit to doing this every single morning for 30 straight days. Track your results in a small notebook. Write down how you feel on day 1. Notice the subtle shifts in your daily energy by day 7. Your mind will feel sharp, clear, and highly focused. The afternoon brain fog will lift completely. You will not need that strong cup of coffee at 3 o'clock. Your joints will glide smoothly. The clicking will stop. You will walk with a lighter step. Your skin will look plumper and more radiant. Small, smart habits create massive, lasting changes in your overall quality of life. You do not need complicated, exhausting routines. You do not need expensive synthetic supplements packed with fillers. You just need to understand exactly how your body works. You need to give it the raw materials it recognizes and craves. This entire routine costs mere pennies a day. It takes less than 2 minutes of your morning. Compare that to the expensive coffees or sugary energy drinks that just dehydrate you further and crash your energy. This information is educational. Do not change your doctor's treatment. Stay hydrated. Stay strong. Always listen closely to what your body is telling you.